Okay, so let's get started. The cowboy way of life is one of the oldest traditions in North and South America. As you know, cattle eat grass, a lot of grass. So a herd, or group of cattle, must be moved often to new places with more grass. The people who move the cattle are called cowboys. A lot of people today think that the last cowboys disappeared a long time ago, and it's true that there are fewer cowboys today than in the past. Money is one factor in this because cowboys usually don't earn a lot of money for all the hard work they do. But in some places, cowboys still ride their horses as they move cattle to places with more grass. They also still practice traditional cowboy customs such as sleeping outdoors under the stars and singing songs near campfires at night. Their way of life hasn't changed much over time because their work hasn't really changed. Today we'll talk about two regions in North America that still have cowboys, the Western United States and Mexico. And thanks to a fascinating book on this topic by a National Geographic photographer named Rob Kendrick, we'll be able to look at two actual cowboys from those places. Kendrick's book is called Still, Cowboys at the Start of the 21st Century. As he was writing the book, Kendrick interviewed modern cowboys in different places, and he used a very old kind of camera to photograph the cowboys. The first cowboy we'll look at lives in the U.S. His name is Tyrell Tucker. He was 18 years old when Kendrick took this photo. Tyrell was born in Wyoming and was riding horses before he could walk. He got his first horse when he was just 2 years old. According to Kendrick, Tyrell started working as a cowboy during his school vacations and developed a love for being outdoors. He eventually left school to help with the family ranch and was happy to do that. While all of his classmates were indoors studying and playing computer games, Tyrell was working outside. As you might guess, however, living away from home and the actual work of a cowboy can be quite difficult. In Kendrick's book, Tyrell describes one winter when he and his older brother, Blaine, were working on a ranch in Arizona. He estimates they took care of 2,300 cattle there, so it was a big job. Tyrell and Blaine were the only people on the ranch. They lived in a very small house, a shack really, with no electricity and ate pancakes, potatoes, and hamburgers every day. But even so, Tyrell enjoyed the work. Kendrick also interviewed cowboys in Mexico. The cowboy tradition there began in the 1600s, when Spanish people brought the first cattle to the New World. In Mexico, large ranches needed workers to take care of their herds of cattle. These men were called vaqueros, from the Spanish word vaca, which means cow. The vaqueros worked outdoors in the hot sun, so they started wearing big hats to keep the sun off their faces and high boots to protect their legs. Later, some Mexican vaqueros moved north into Texas, and their clothing, hats and boots, became a part of the cowboy culture there too. Wearing cowboy hats and boots is a custom that people have preserved in many parts of North America. These days, there are two kinds of cowboys in Mexico. Vaqueros work with cattle on the ranches, especially in the northern region of the country. They still ride horses and live outdoors for many months at a time. In addition, Mexico also has charros, and they're an important part of popular culture in Mexico. Charros wear beautiful cowboy clothing, ride horses, and compete in sporting events called charreadas. Most charros don't work on ranches, but they are part of the cowboy tradition in Mexico, a tradition that has been preserved and continues to this day. Manuel Rodriguez is one of the Mexican cowboys that Kendrick interviewed for his book. He was working as a vaquero in Coahuila, Mexico, when Kendrick met him. Manuel started his work as a vaquero early in life. He started helping his father at La Mora Ranch when he was only 4 years old. His parents, his grandparents, and even his great-grandparents have all worked at La Mora Ranch. When Kendrick took this photo, Manuel had recently gotten married and moved to the city, but he was planning to move back to the countryside and work as a vaquero again after his first child was born. Okay, so these examples from Kendrick's book show us that there are still cowboys in North America today who are part of a very old tradition.